Team Cherry has done it again. After 7 years of Silk Sanity, fake ARGs, Silksong news, and a slew of other coping mechanisms, we have finally made it. Hollow Knight Silksong is officially out for release, and it definitely did not break the Steam servers. Fun little fact for all of you, it took my close comrade and compatriot, Luke, about 2.5 hours to even get the game bought because the Steam servers were so overloaded. But now that it's here, and we can finally all enjoy the glorious world of Farloom that Team Cherry has delivered to us, I want to give you all some of my raw, unfiltered thoughts about Silksong thus far. Spoiler warning, of course. For these first few minutes, I'm going to try and keep it relatively spoiler-free. I'll put a timestamp on screen for when the spoilers will be starting, so if you still want to get my first impressions and get a general idea of what you might be able to expect from the game and, you know, see if it lives up to the expectations, this video's still for you. I've played about 6.5 hours of the game, all live streamed right here on the channel. Be sure to hit the bell if you want to catch me playing live whenever I decide to do that next. And I can, with absolute 100% confidence, say this: Silksong does not disappoint. When it comes to the level of challenge it presents, it does not disappoint. When it comes to the sheer ambience of the next world Team Cherry has built, it does not disappoint. When it comes to the utter beauty and almost like haunting amazingness of the soundtrack, it does not disappoint. And I think this goes without saying, but of course, the beautiful hand-drawn visuals, backgrounds, foreground objects, none of that disappoints either. Of course, because we've all been anticipating this game for so long, we've all been extremely intrigued and curious about what some of the narrative and lore aspects might be and how it might connect back to Hollow Knight. And one thing this game is very good at doing, even after release, is raise more questions. I won't go into too much detail because I don't want to spoil this part of the experience for anyone who hasn't had it, but there are some sections at the beginning of the game that really raise your eyebrows and get you thinking, what the hell is going on here? And then of course the only thought you have after that is, I want to find out. Silksong has a very good hook, narratively, visually, and audibly. I guarantee you within the first 20 minutes of the game, you will not want to stop. And you can bet your ass I have absolutely zero plans of stopping until I've talked about or theorized about everything this game has to offer. But if there ends up being some sort of Path of Pain equivalent, yeah, no thanks. You've all saw how I reacted to Celeste.
You fucking little prick. You just like, hey, I'm gonna touch you. I'm gonna touch you.
So let's not revisit that, yeah? Christopher Larkin's new score for Silksong has been an utter delight to listen to as I've played through this incredible game. Each song evokes an energy that is perfectly suited to the locations and situations they were made for. Whilst I have no doubt the game would still be incredibly enjoyable without the music adds such an enhancement to this experience. One minute you're walking and listening to some enjoyable track of the area, and the next you're in some new area or some new place and location, and the tone totally changes, and it's almost as though your body reacts with the change, and your whole mood changes with it as well. It is an indescribable feeling. Now, I am a very big sucker for great sound design and great music design in anything, movies, TV shows, games, whatever kind of media you think of. But there's just something so special about Christopher Larkin's ability to compose that just fully immerses you in the worlds built by Team Cherry. Whenever a new track comes on or you enter a new area and see something as a new track plays at the perfect moment, you just think to yourself, oh man, I feel like I am there. And just like how some of the narrative sequences of the game make you raise your eyebrow, the music does the exact same thing. You enter a new area, or you enter some building or some certain specific room, and some new track plays, and you just think to yourself, man, why is this place so gloomy? Why is this place so bright? You know, what happened here to make it this way? And what happened to make it seem and feel this way that this music is made for? It is just incredible. But I think that's enough talk about the music. Allow me to try and give a relatively spoiler-free about how it feels to play as Hornet. Hornet, the pale spider princess. As we all expected, based on trailer footage and what Team Cherry themselves have said, which is not very much, Hornet is a very different character to play as compared to the Knight. She's faster, she's quicker, you have to be way more precise with her. But once you get the feeling of the flow of how Hornet moves and weaves her way through the environments, and you get the hang of it, it is unbelievably satisfying. I remember the very first time I no-hit the Mantis Lords in Hollow Knight, and I thought to myself, damn, I fully understand how to control this little knight. Well, I had that exact same moment in Silksong, and that moment came in an encounter with one of the most iconic Silksong characters, or at least I think so anyway, our dear friend, Lace. This is where the spoiler section is likely going to begin, so anybody who wants to avoid spoilers from here on out, you might want to take a hike. But do me a favor and leave a like and sub on your way out. I'd greatly appreciate that. Also check out the memberships, they're pretty cool. Before I utterly glaze this boss encounter, I'll just let you see my live reactions. We found her. How sad, a little spider has fallen from its cage. So lost, so weak, poor little morsel. Wow. I can save you, little spider. All the trouble you'd face above, all the suffering. It's so simple. I'll just skewer you here and now and pluck that flickering life right out of you. Your threats are worthless, child. If you are my foe, stay your voice and raise your blade. Delicious. I like you already. Oh boy, it's time for the Sesbian Lex. Oh boy, Lace time. Oh, damn. She got the combo. Oh, that was painful. Okay, Lace is actually kicking my butt. Okay, she's a little bit like Hornet in terms of her moves. This is like the second Hornet fight all over again. Oh, okay, you got me, Lace. I'll give you that one. Come on. Whoa. All right. I'm impressed. Your move. Whew. Come on. Ooh, the music. Oh my god, this is getting my heart racing. Okay, that was just dumb on my part. Okay, Lace. Give me a sec. Come on. You got the moves, I'll give you that. You got the schmoves, you got the mad schmoves. Oh yeah, that definitely did a number on her. Come on. Oh, got him. First try, Lace. And that is our Hornet. Defeat Lace and the Deep Docks. Yes, that was a really good boss fight. That was sick. I've stopped to take a break. I'm not feeling well. Yeah, that was... Whew. You take that break, T-Tops. That was awesome. I love that. That was my favorite boss so far. Yeah, Lace's weapon. It's like a little cane. Like a little cane rapier or something. Oh, that was fun. Oh my god. That was such a fun fight. Lace is, thus far, my singular favorite boss in this game. Based off of that, you might think, oh, Hornet was probably your favorite boss in Hollow Knight, right? Wrong. Mantis Lords are my favorite. But that is besides the point. Lace is a perfect match for Hornet. Not only because Hornet is a raging bisexual, but also because Lace's skills and set of abilities are perfectly, evenly matched to Hornet's set of abilities. They are both quick, they are both agile, they are precise, and they both have purpose and reason for being in Farloom. I'm certain we will encounter Lace again later in the game. Obviously, I have not finished it or gotten that far, so I'm certain we will see more of her. But I imagine when we do, it will be kind of similar energy, similar vibe to when the Knight encountered Hornet for the second time in the cast-off shell. Perhaps Hornet will become the Queen of Farloom. She'll burn some mark upon her shell or whatever. But in all seriousness, Lace was without a doubt my single favorite fight thus far. It was so well executed, the music was brilliant, the fluid movement of the fight, and how all of Lace's attacks were like so perfectly telegraphed to where you can counter them, but if you're not quick enough, you will mess up and get your ass beat. It was such a satisfying experience. And speaking of bosses in general, the bosses in Silksong are definitely more challenging than in Hollow Knight. Since Hornet's moves are so much more complex and have so much more depth to them than the Knight did, not that the Knight didn't have depth, but Hornet's moveset just has so much more depth to it, the bosses also have more depth and complexity to them. Which is why I raise you 4th Chorus. How many times have we seen this guy in the trailer shots? This was definitely one of the more challenging fights that took me a good couple of tries before I won, but the rhythm of this boss is perfectly suited to Hornet's moveset. But if you can't find the rhythm or keep the rhythm of this boss, you will be punished. There's very little room for error in this fight. And though I don't know the exact length of my fight against him right now, I will put it on screen. It is probably longer than other people's encounters with this boss, but it's probably also not as long as I think it is. I'm not entirely sure if this boss is intended to be some kind of endurance test or what, but it certainly felt like one. This fight felt like a test of both movement and understanding the environment around you and watching diligently as it changes. I didn't even realize there were steam vents in the final phase that you could have made use of to dodge things. But overall, it was just another absolute banger of a boss fight. And in an unorthodox and very different turn of events to how it went down in Hollow Knight, our fast travel companion, instead of just willingly offer our services after years of not being able to help anyone, it decides to, hey, let's beat the crap out of this little bug that just saved me from being tied up forever, and then I'll help them after they beat the crap out of me. His name is Belfry, and I love him. Speaking of bells, oh boy, there are a lot of bells in this game. There are bugs carrying bells, there are tunnels made out of bells, there are platforms made out of bells, there are big bells that you ring, like how in Dark Souls you ring the bells, and then they open doors. And I think the bells are meant to serve a similar purpose to masks. If you remember back in Hollow Knight, masks were an extremely important part of the lore of the game. Not only that, but you would find masks everywhere. In Hollow Knight, masks gave identity to bugs and sort of gave them their faces, if you will. And I believe in Silksong and in the world of Farloom, I believe bells might serve a similar purpose. Some people might think, oh, any bug wearing the bell is some agent of the Citadel. But the smith we meet is wearing a bell, and her little worker friend is wearing a bell on their head, and they're not hostile to us, they just want to perfect their craft. They remind me a little bit, at least in part, of Mask Maker. Of course, Mask Maker wasn't a shop, but it's interesting to see this shift from masks to bells, because as we've been told repeatedly, at least I've been told repeatedly at the start of the game, music is a very important part of Farloom. And as Team Cherry described it, it is a haunted kingdom haunted by silk and song. And speaking of the silk portion, the Weavers from Hollow Knight seem to have a very important role in the world of Farloom. Farloom might be where the Weavers are from originally, because there are doors with the Weavers' faces on them, there are big monuments where Hornet can absorb abilities from Weaver Silk. They are important to Farloom. And the amount of intrigue their sort of slightly background presence creates is just incredible. All I can think of is, wow, I want to go play the game some more instead of sitting here recording, talking about the game. So I think that is exactly what I'm going to do, and I think that is all the first impressions and theories and thoughts I've had about Silksong after my first experience with it that I'd like to share with you. It has broken the Steam servers, it will probably be breaking some records, and I can't wait to break some more heads. There's going to be a lot of Silksong content coming out on the channel, so if you want to stay tuned for all of that, be sure to hit the like and sub button, and I would just greatly appreciate it. This has been a long time coming for a lot of us. I know I've been waiting for this game since like my sophomore year in high school or something like that. It is finally here, and I am unbelievably excited. Also, if you want to support me and help me keep this channel running, please consider checking out the channel memberships. Not only do you get access to a whole bunch of exclusive rewards, but you also directly support me in the process. But that is going to do it for now. Thank you all so much for watching, and yeah, have a good day, everyone.